to invite you to hear a little piece of my heart as I make this dress. So much of my heart and soul went into this project that I hope it can inspire others to never be afraid to tell your story. This dress was inspired by a song I made at 4 a.m. on June 1st during a dark moment in my life. I wanted to make something that represented this moment, and this is how it came to be. I imagined something elegant, like what you'd see a celebrity wear. Off the shoulder, sleeves, and really beautiful drapey fabric. I was reminded of an older design I made that I actually felt beautiful in last year. So I was pulling the base of the dress from that design, but adding sleeves for a bit more coverage and fabric to flow as I imagined for the music video that I'll be sharing at the end of this video. I also decided to add these little shorts underneath. I've always really loved that look, and it's something that I felt like maybe I wouldn't like on myself, but I wanted to be bold and be able to just do it anyway. I think the long slit in the front and the little shorts underneath kind of gives it that more risque without being too risky. I knew that I wanted this dress to be red, particularly a burgundy or dark red, because to me, red represents boldness, confidence, but also it can represent many other relevant feelings to this. It just seemed like the perfect choice. The reason I gravitate towards a darker red is because I feel like there's still a gloominess to the elegant celebrity feel. And although it's not pictured in the fashion illustration, I also decided I would add a black layer of fabric underneath the red, as a part of the song talks about feeling a sort of darkness in my life. For over a decade of my life, I was known as a photographer, but the reason I became known for that was because I used to take a lot of creative self-portraits as a form of sharing my story and expressing myself. But over the years, people would ask me to take their photo, not quite knowing that my dream was not just in the photography alone, but in the stories I could capture through emotions and fashion. I also was known for many other talents, such as videography and piano, and eventually sewing. And each time I shared my talents over the years, I realized that it was easy to hide my truest side out of fear it was silly. So I became everyone else's photographer, videographer, piano teacher, and most recently a dressmaker, making dresses for other people to wear. Although I did begin my journey into making dresses I can wear myself, I didn't start that way at all. I started to really feel as if I was not being seen as the person I dreamed myself to become, and was instead someone with a service to offer. However, it left me quite empty to be distracted by a life of using these random talents for little jobs here and there. When I was a young girl, I specifically remember watching a movie that had a singer in it and imagining myself as her. She was shy, yet had this amazing talent to sing, and she was beautiful. And I told myself that I would practice singing as much as I can until I got good at it. I sang the song over and over and over. Each time it wasn't as good, but I kept trying and kept trying. I always felt like my voice wasn't doing what it seemed to be doing for these singers, that I didn't have the singer voice. And so I hid that dream from the entire world out of fear that I wasn't good and that people would make fun of me. And I was so determined to make sure that I could learn this talent before I ever shared it with anyone. When I was in high school, I remember bringing my MP3 player to school just to listen to my recordings that I would make at home. These recordings would have me harmonizing with myself to some random nursery rhyme or some simple little song. I'd listen over and over and over, wanting to see where I can improve. I would sing along with other musicians, trying my best to perfect the pitch. But still, I was way too scared to ever sing for anyone. The fear held me back. But when I learned photography, I felt like I could dress up and take pictures of myself to feel like a model or an actress. I would imagine myself in movies, which is what attracted me to filmmaking when I was a little girl. I begged my dad for a video camera, to which he got me one, and I recorded skits with my family, mini movies of my Barbies, and music videos with my friends. I remember dancing in front of the camera, and me and my friends would have such a fun time, and I just thought it was the coolest thing to imagine an idea and then make it come to life with the video camera. I knew I wanted to be known for my talent someday, I just had no idea how to get out of my head and make it real. But teaching myself all of these different talents was my way of becoming all the different people I wish I had in my life. I got to be a model because I learned photography. I got to be an actress because I learned videography. I got to be a singer because I learned how to record and produce my own music. And yet, what people saw was each individual talent I learned as something other people could use or want. I started shooting weddings or doing family portraits, teaching piano. It seemed for so many years that no one actually noticed my love for being in front of the camera or dreaming of acting. And they definitely were unaware of my dream of being a singer. And I let that happen so easily by going along with it for years and staying silent. I was once called selfish by a friend because I recorded my own music and I would listen to it and share it online. But those words ate at me for years. To this day, they still hurt me. I still can hear those words in my head. And although I've come a long way, I still have this small little voice telling me, nobody cares about your dreams. They're selfish. And that voice is so loud sometimes. But I also realized that after many years of getting better and better at my talents, it's only taken me this long to reach my dream because each talent is often something a person will spend a lifetime on. And yet I've taken on multiple and put my all into them just to become, for the lack of a better title, a one-woman show. I thought you'd enjoy a montage of the clippings, but anyway, let's get back to the story. I love sharing stories and being an inspiration. It's hard to know what other people want, and I'm a people pleaser through and through. But to be able to be in my own head and direct my own stories is the most liberating thing I've ever been able to do. It is the most freeing and anxiety-free task for me. Learning fashion design felt like the missing puzzle piece because my love for fancy dresses grew stronger over time, and it was so hard to find access to these dresses. I wanted to be able to wear them and photograph them for my storytelling. I definitely know that one of my biggest setbacks has always been the fear of asking for help. And I think that I've learned all of these talents because of my fear of asking someone else to help me. And I felt like it was so much easier to just help myself. And I've really learned that over the years, my fear of asking for help. So instead of finding someone else with beautiful dresses, I thought it'd be much easier if I just made them myself. Of course, I grew in love, and I started sewing, and I built this channel, and I don't regret it at all. I think that to be able to build something and put it together is allowing me to really grow as a person, and it's also allowing me to get my emotions out there somehow through my work. It's therapeutic, I guess you could say. But I came so far from who I used to be, the person who would get in front of the camera and love taking pictures and doing videos and music. I wasn't really her anymore. By the time I learned the skill, I was unhappy with my health and my body. So I didn't make dresses for myself. Instead, I made them for friends that modeled, and I photographed them. And every time I was there, I kept thinking about how special the models were. They got hair and makeup done. They were beautiful in the photos. They got to wear my dress. And they'd tell me, I feel so beautiful in this dress. And I'd smile at them while slowly dying on the inside, because I couldn't feel that way. I hadn't felt that way in a very long time. Now, don't get me wrong, I love helping other people feel beautiful. I love that I could do that for them, that I could provide this dress that made them feel like a princess or like royalty or whatever it is they felt. I love that I'm able to do that for other people. I just want to make sure that no matter what I say in this video and what I'm talking about, it doesn't change the fact that I love people and I love that other people can feel good from the things that I did. I like that when I did photography, people would tell me, you make me feel so beautiful. I always look so good in your photos. That warmed my heart. That meant so much to me. What happened over the years for me is that I saw that I was doing this for other people, and that slowly over time, I stopped doing it for myself. Because a long time ago, I was doing this to make myself feel special because I didn't think anyone else would ever do it, so I did it. So I was able to share that with other people because they were able to feel special the way I did it for myself. But I didn't recognize until it all kind of hit me all at once that, wow, it's been a long time since I've even done that for myself. That's kind of when it hit me. It's almost as if I let my little dream fade away. It was there, but it wasn't. I felt like it was so far that I just stopped pursuing it. And when that feeling continued to build up over time, I hit yet another low spot and decided to get on my piano and make a song. And that's how Wandering came to be. It's a song about feeling like I've been wandering around trying to find my place in the world, but feeling so invisible. When I see everyone in the community get together and support each other, I always seem to find myself fading into the background. I get stressed from some financial thing, or I fall lazy and can't get off the couch for weeks because my hormones are so imbalanced I feel depressed without trying. I know God is working in my life, and I'm eternally grateful He never gives up on me even when I fall weak. I think that all the hard things we go through just adds to our character, and I think that because of the hard times, it makes the good times stand out. It adds value to our lives. So it's not that I think that the bad things should have never happened in my life, or that I should have found my dreams a long time ago and had been pursuing them by now. It's that I know that this is going to just make it an even greater story. Because of how long it's taken me to find my place in the world, I know that when I get there, it's going to feel really amazing. When I was little and I was dreaming of being a singer, I had the whole world in front of me. Now I'm a mom and I'm married, and I realize that time goes by way too fast. Watching my son grow is like watching time get put on ×3 speed or something. And sometimes it just kind of hits you really fast when you realize that your life isn't going to slow down. And I think when those moments happen for me, I realize everything that I've done in my life has made me into the person I am today. And if I'm not happy with the person I am today, then I need to continue to grow into the person that I want to be. And that time is never going to stop and wait for me to catch up. For some reason, I'm always brought back to that little Stephanie watching her favorite movie, watching the woman sing on the TV, telling myself that someday I'm going to be on stage and I'm going to be singing, and someone's going to look at me and they're going to think, wow, she's so beautiful. But I still find myself in a moment of darkness. The black layer in the skirt represents that darkness, but the red is the part of me that wants to stand out. The part of me that wants to shine and be known for me. Not a photographer, not a videographer, not an editor, not a seamstress, but to be known as me, as Stephanie Ann, the girl who watched every single music video she could find as a kid to be amazed at the fullness of telling a story through song and visuals, and yet also being the star of the show. I only learned those talents so that I could have access to those talents to be able to do the things that I wanted to do. And it's so hard to dream of being a star when the world around you wants to shut that idea down and make you believe it's selfish or evil. When the world around you fails to see your truest, deepest cry. It's not a cry of wanting to be famous, the immediate thought that most people might have. No, it is a cry of just, I want these voices that tell me I'm not good enough to go away. I just want the anxiety that something is wrong with me to go away. I just want to feel seen, heard, and like I matter in this world, and that nothing's wrong with me. Some people don't know how life feels to be a highly sensitive person like I am. Every negative word hits me like a bullet. Every word I hear is loud, good or bad. Being highly sensitive to the people around me is tiring and stressful. But I know that I have a story to tell, and that in due time, all of these talents will finally come together to paint the full picture of who I am, and on that day, it'll all be worth it. Sometimes our darkest moments are exactly what we need to spring us forward to the next best thing in our life. When I say I poured my heart and soul into this dress design, I truly mean it. I tried to think of every little thing that just added to the story, added to the meaning. And the whole time I was so excited knowing that I was going to be making a music video. Anticipating this music video, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I talked to my husband and asked him if he would help me film it, and he agreed. He's not a filmmaker, it's not really his thing, but I think having his support throughout this whole thing and seeing someone that looks at me and thinks, yes, you can do it, yes, you're good enough, he never thinks anything bad of me. And to add to that, I always had a dad like that. I lost my dad a decade ago, and it feels like it just happened yesterday sometimes. but I always remember how supportive my dad was to me, and having a husband who has the same kind of support that my dad did really truly means so much to me. My dad always believed in me, believing that I was the best at everything that I did. And I think maybe when I lost my dad, a little part of me that believed in myself also died. And sometimes I realize that I just don't believe in myself as much as I used to. And over the course of time, I started to turn to food. And I started to turn to other things that would make me forget about these worries. Food was an instant way to get dopamine, and I grew addicted to just all of the junk food you can imagine. And when I look back at my life, it saddens me to know that for a while I forgot. I forgot of the girl that sat in front of that TV staring at this video of a girl singing, saying, I'm gonna be her someday. I'm gonna teach myself how to sing. I'm gonna sing just like her. In fact, the song that I was really, really in love with is something I ended up doing a cover to later on in life. It was a really cool moment for me, but I still found myself just forgetting about these dreams. I still found myself sitting on the couch, watching TV, telling myself I don't really feel like doing whatever it is I was going to do today. I just feel like watching TV and sulking in my sadness. But something changed me when I became a mother. My son was born nearly 3 years ago. Ever since he was born, something just clicked in me. I couldn't live the life that was miserable. I had to figure out a way to fulfill my dreams. I knew that that would be really inspirational to him when he grew up someday, to think, look at my mom, she does this, she does that, she's so cool. I think having my child changed my life for the better, and I'm so eternally grateful that he exists. I really feel like I needed to do this project. I needed to let this part of my story out, and I feel like I'm already liberated just from sharing this. So thank you guys for listening to my story, for watching me make this dress and putting it all together. It is such an amazing feeling to see all these pieces come together to form something so beautiful. And I will say this is probably one of my most favorite designs, especially with the meaning. This dress is for the girl who dreams of feeling like royalty, despite her circumstances. I'm wandering so far now. Is it my do.